I had to wait a moment, but I can go now. The Kampinos National Park was created in 1959 and there are about 560 kilometers of trails in this area. Although this is not a constant number and may change with changes which are made in the park itself. This is the area of great importance for maintaining biodiversity in the center of the country. It has been part of the Natura 2000 network since 2004. There are few national parks in the world that border with the capitals of the countries, and one of them is the Kampinos National Park, located next to the Warsaw. That's why it is often called the green lungs of this city. They are not just any lungs, because this park is the second largest in Poland and covers over 385 square kilometers. The headquarters of the national park is located in its eastern part, in Izabeli. You can see there the exhibitions dedicated to the nature of the park and its scale model showing the whole area from above. Although the greater part of the Kampinos forest is made of forests, people are the most interested in local marshes and dunes, which create landscapes clearly contrasting with each other. The formation is linked with very old times when 20,000 years ago the water of melting ice sheet formed a river, the so-called Pravistula, with the 18-kilometer wide riverbed in which was a large area of today's Kampinos forest. However, the water level began to fall and the river began to transform into the one we know today. The islands and sandbanks, which were on the Pravistula, evolved into dunes, and between them, in the depressions, the water lasted longer, creating today's swamps. Forests cover over 70% of the park's area, and the dominant species that occurs in the tree stands is Scots pine, which is easily noticeable. On the dunes grow mainly pine forests. Meanwhile, I'm going towards Lebowitz. It's a swampy area that is supposedly worth visiting. Because the presence of drought, there isn't as much water as it should be, but it's a wetland and there is a dry dune above it. In the Kampinos National Park, due to the occurrence of diverse habitats, from dry dunes to wet swamps, we can find rich vegetation. Particularly noteworthy is the black birch, which I am looking for. This tree does not contain betulin, which is responsible for the white color of the silver birch bark. There are a lot of birches on the trail, but black birch is a rare tree in our country. I'm glad I saw it, but this is not the only particularity of the local flora. I won't find a second one in such a place and I have to go to the wetlands again. Another interesting plant that I would like to see here is northern Daphne. It is rare in Poland. The southern border of this range runs through our country, and the southernmost stands of this plant are located in the Kampinos National Park. This plant, associated with peat bogs, occurs mainly in the north, in a cooler climate, and is a post-glacial relic in our country. I wonder what its future will be considering the climate change. However, on długie bagno, a cotton grass focused my attention. It's a plant that prefers wetlands, and here its clumps were beautifully composed with the surroundings. There was something relaxing in stalks swayed in the wind. I was walking around for long hours looking for Gimme. Unfortunately, I couldn't find it. This time I decided to go to the place located more to the north. Wilkowska Góra is an interesting place where we can observe one of the higher dunes in the Kampinos National Park. By establishing the national park, people wanted to protect, for example, inland dunes. This place is covered with an old pine stand. The dunes in Kampinos Park are among the best developed inland dunes in Europe. The name of the Wilkowska Góra, which refers to wolves, also suggests that in this area you can expect the presence of these animals. Supposedly it's the truth, so I will be looking for tracks. Wolves were present in the Kampinos forest for a long time, but recently, because in December 2013, these animals were seen again in the local forests. This is great news and a great benefit for the ecosystem. When I was walking on the trail, I noticed that I just passed next to a starling hollow. Every now and then the bird returns to feed the youngs. Let's take a look. Starlings nest in hollows, and this one apparently doesn't care about the path where people walk. I didn't have to wait long, and one of the birds appeared to give the chicks a portion of invertebrates. Wolves are not the only large predators in the park, because in 1992, lynx reintroduction was carried out here. This species is still present in the local forests, and its population is estimated at a maximum several individuals.
Jestem teraz na ścieżce.
I'm on the path in the Kalisko Strict Protection Area.
Muszę przyznać, że jest
I have to admit that this is a very nice path that is worth seeing if you are in the Kampinos National Park.
Ścieżka jest prosta.
The path is easy, a footbridge leads through wetlands, and the area is really beautiful.
Naprawdę pięknie.
In such places you can look for moose, but also, or maybe mainly, for birds, because for many of them swamps and wetlands are perfect places to live. The Kampinos National Park is very valuable for them. That's why it was recognized by the European Parliament as a refuge for birds of European importance. The sun has already hidden behind the horizon, but I do not think about sleeping. I'm going. I will have my eyes and ears open with hope that I will be able to hear, because not to see, corncrake, an endangered bird for which this park is a very important refuge. I'm afraid that it will not happen. I didn't see many other species of animals, I didn't see Gimme, but it doesn't matter. The Kampinos National Park still hides many valuable treasures for me, and I can come back here for them. didn't hear the concrete that evening, but the time was nice because of the pleasant singing of the nightingale.